when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs, the products for you. You just need to give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'd be happy to put you in touch with our friends at Gold Star. What's happening in the Mortgage Minute? Hey, don't forget about Gold Star also. They have that fast pass loan approval that gets you potentially or saves you potentially $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home. You just need to have a great real estate agent to help you with that part of it. We're going to introduce you to one in just a minute. But hey, let's look at the markets once again. We are watching them for you. We are on Fed Watch today. So we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 139 points, the NASDAQ down 2884, S&P 500 down 1368. Are you getting a little sense of what's going on in the markets today? The 10-year Treasury down 2, but the Fannie Mae mortgage-backed securities, that is up 8 basis points for the bond. That tells you that interest rates are down just a little bit today. Now, generally, I'll give you some of the why as to this, what's happening here. I told you that in the last segment, a lot of the why of what is happening in the markets today. But here's some other things that we did not chat with you about. Hey, refinances, they were up 4%, now up 3.5% from this time last year. That's a big difference from what we've been seeing lately in the marketplace. So watch that one. We are on Fed Watch today. The 30-year mortgage decreased from 4.64 to 4.55. Tomorrow, we're going to get the Freddie Mac reading there. The 10-year Treasury trading back beneath 262. Now it's in that range that we've been talking about. Hey, a lot of that is technical stuff, and the technicals don't really matter when we're on Fed Watch. So we're going to keep track of what's going on the Fed. If anything important happens at the 11 o'clock announcement, the briefing, or the 11:30 press conference, we'll be back. We'll let you know what's going on there. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Let's chat this morning. Kevin A. Kent is with us, Villa Real Estate. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
So you got a very past. What brought you to real estate?
You know, I bought my first house when I was like 26, 27.
Okay.
And it's been a uphill and downhill and uphill climb since then. But that first house, 2 months after I bought it, was up in the Redwoods in beautiful Santa Cruz Mountains. 2 months afterwards, it flooded the whole place, national disaster area. And
the whole area. I thought you were talking just about your house.
No, the whole place. I lived on the river, and I thought that was a great idea. The river's only 8 inches tall. It was 18 feet after the storm, the 100-year storm. People died. It was horrible.
Wow.
But I went downtown as we couldn't get out, and I talked to a guy. He says, "Anybody here buy a house? Anybody here want to buy a house? Are you all right?" I'm going, "What on earth?" He goes, "You own a house here?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You want to sell it?" I said, "I just bought it. It can't be worth anything now." And he goes, "Exactly." So he goes, "Let's put it on the market for $49,000. I bought it for $83,000 or something. And so I said, "Okay, what's the plan?" He goes, "It's a national disaster area. You can write off the difference." So I quickly learned about taxes and homes and how that all worked out. But I want to point out the funny part. When I started doing real estate, the first was 9%, the second was 12%, and the third was 15% for an $83,000 house. But again, that was my beginning.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that had to be somewhere in the 80s.
It was early 80s, yeah.
Yeah, because you got good rates for the 80s.
Well, there were 3 loans on one $83,000 house.
I know. I bought my first house in the 80s, and I think I had one loan, and it was, I think, 15, 16, 17%, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a tough time.
It was a tough time, but I'm a Californian. I mean, I've lived in Silicon Valley. I've worked in Hollywood. I've grew up in San Diego, and now I'm in Orange County, where I moved to raise my family. And
You mean you didn't want to raise a family in Silicon Valley?
Or Los Angeles.
Or Los Angeles. Not that I'm saying there's something bad about those places, but just throwing that out there.
When I left Los Angeles, I had been working at a place called the Record Plant for an Apple company called Film Sonics. And I found myself a single parent, and I just said, I'm getting out of here. So I moved to Irvine.
You were the single parent. You didn't find a single parent.
I was the single parent.
Okay, I just throwing that out there.
And the little 2-year-old boy is now 30, for putting it all in perspective. But, I've always bought and sold houses, and I flipped them in Big Bear before 2008, which, by the way, I sold all my properties in Big Bear in 2008 prior to the crash.
Uh-huh.
All my friends thought I was a genius, but no, my kids had allergies. So in any case, I kind of got into the flipping thing and all that stuff, and just kind of moved along. But meanwhile, I was writing movie. I'm a writer. I'm a storyteller. I love telling stories, as you can tell.
Right.
And so I just kind of kept going at it. I've had a couple of movies made. I've written a bunch. The one I've written a long time ago that pays out still to this day is called Nanking. I put the book on the table whenever I'm doing an open house. All my Chinese buyers look at it and kind of, I know what they're really thinking is, however you say it in Chinese, what the hell would you write a book about Nanking about? And as soon as I mention the word Jackie Chan, suddenly they're my best friends, and I move on. Half my business has been in Chinese, but for Chinese buyers.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you speak Chinese?
What? No, I don't. But I understand them well. In fact, I have 2 closings going on right now. One with the Chinese buyer for a house I listed, and then the other part of it is, it's a Laguna Beach property that she's buying, and it's fun. It's very different. It's very challenging. You get it right at the last second. It's like, oh, but we also want, and this week, and I hope she's not listening, we want the shelves on the wall. I said, well, those are actually property of the husband's father gave them to him. So no.
Yeah.
Okay, then we want the wine rack. I'm going, stop. Please stop.
That's just part of the culture, right?
And I
negotiate until the last second.
Yeah, and I try not to get emotional about it. But this is a very emotional business. And that's
it is. And also it's kind of interesting that you say that, because I invest in real estate, and I tell folks all the time, if you're looking to sell a house, the word you need to understand is divorce. Right? Because you want to divorce from the property.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you're going to sell, it's an asset you're trying to maximize the value out of.
Yeah.
Right.
And what I have a tendency to do, because of my storytelling and writing background, is I ask people to tell me the story of the house. Did they raise their kids there? They're gone. Are they moving to a different area? Are they getting away from our taxes? What is the story behind
getting away from our taxes? Well, I can't imagine that.
And so what I do in my video, I do a lot of videos for the homes that I represent.
Funny, I got a face for radio.
I've used that line all the time. People tease me about my voice, because my dad did the NBC Nightly News and radio, and we just all kind of grew up being able to talk like this if needed. And so all my videos that I do my radio voice, and they turn out great. People always comment on, wow, whoever you got to do that voiceover, keep that guy. And I'm going, oh yeah, right.
Interesting, yeah.
But I tell the stories.
Okay.
I'm just listening one right now in Newport Beach, in we call it the Port Streets, great family area. I started it by talking about the family area and the accommodations for sports and schools and stuff, and I closed it, same thing. And that's what was matter. The property I just sold for another seller up on top of Quail Hill in Irvine, it's all about the view and the expansive view. And these are on my website, and I shoot well. I'm a director. I shoot well, and I do nice videos. But I'm telling you, it's the voice that works. It's that telling people the story. And that's what I believe. And also when someone's live with me, hearing their story, asking them their story, we build trust quickly. And that's kind of what I'm all about when it comes to real estate. I want to know your story.
That's fascinating, because and people want to tell their story if they've got somebody that they believe cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I can ask somebody's story, and if I'm not letting them know that, or if they don't believe that I care, it doesn't help. But it's you sound like a caring guy.
I am.
Right. So when you care about people, they want to talk about, what's our favorite subject?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. Family.
Right. Let's talk about more. And if we could change the subject and just talk more about me.
Anecdotally and comically, the thing I bring up first, because people come in to put the booties on, or they take their shoes off, right? Most of the houses.
Right.
I love teasing people about their socks or their lack of interesting socks. And it starts the dialogue. I've had people looking at me like going, What are you talking about? I'm going, those are some very interesting socks. Did your wife get those for you, or your daughter, or what's the deal with those? Well, what are they in it? And they get all upset, but we started dialogue. We can't stop.
Interesting. So we're going to talk more about how socks sell houses.
Talk it to me.
We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we'll also chat a little bit about millennials. 46 million. Do they know they're ready? They could buy a house right now. We're going to chat about it. Fortnite fraud. Are you aware of? Everybody knows about Fortnite now, don't they? Am I the only one that doesn't play Fortnite? I might be the only one in the whole country that doesn't play Fortnite. But you can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, NEST to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Nest is the quickest way I know of to get information not only on your own home. Whenever a property in your neighborhood sells, Nest will send you a text message updating you with the sales price, Whenever there is a new property listed, they are the quickest I know of to get that new property to you as well. Nest, N-E-S-T, 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Do 46 million millennials know they are mortgage ready? My guess is they probably do not. Many have written about the millennial generation, whether or not they, as a whole, believe in home ownership as part of attaining the American dream. Millennials have taken longer to obtain traditional milestones than the generations before them, such as getting married, having kids, and buying a home. However, that does not mean they do not still aspire to achieve those things. History shows that people tend to buy their first home around age 30. Nearly 5 million of millennials will turn 30 in the next 2 years. This will continue to fuel demand for housing. We talked about demand in the first segment. What does that mean it's going to do to prices? This is also one of the many reasons why millennial home ownership rate has continued to grow over the past few years. 48.4% of Americans between the ages of 30 to 34 now own a home. There are over 46 millennials, 33% of the generation who are considered mortgage ready, meaning they meet qualifications to be approved for a mortgage today. FICO score greater than 620, back-end debt-to-income ratio less than 25, no foreclosures or bankruptcies in the last 7 years, no severe delinquencies in the last year. Rob Crane, CEO of Down Payment Resource, commented on the findings in the report. I quote, "We now know there are millions of buyers with the income and credit necessary to qualify to buy a home. The biggest question is, do they know it? Unfortunately, many renters don't investigate home ownership simply because they don't believe it's an option," unquote. The good news is that more and more millennials are realizing that they can afford a home now. Even so, more can be done to increase awareness of low down payment programs to attract even more of this generation. New data from Realtor.com shows that in December, millennials accounted for 42% of all new home loans originated in the month. This is more than any other generation. The bottom line, if you are one of the many millennials who may be mortgage ready, but are unsure what your next step should be, simple. Call me, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We've got all kinds of free tools. My favorite word, free tools. We've got the best financial legacy tool on the market. I pay for it. Free for you. Text RSR budget to 79564. You can get access to it. Again, text RSR budget, no space, to 79564. Get access to it. We've got the Get Mortgage Ready program, totally free. Just text GMR to 79564. We'll get you on that program as well. If you think that your credit doesn't meet that 620 guideline, let's chat about that as well. Our friends at Blue Water Credit are there to help you with that one also. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by Nest, the area trusted real estate professionals. Text Nest, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Chatting this morning, Kevin Kent, Villa Real Estate, is with us. We're talking about now I just went through and gave you a whole bunch of information about millennials and homes and interest rates and FICO scores and down payments. And I'm going to have to go back to our crack staff and tell them that they missed the biggest part of that real estate discussion. According to Kevin Kent, we got to start talking about socks.
Sock it to me.
Kevin, what's this?
It's funny. Just listening to the
I'm not going to take my shoes off, though, to talk about my socks.
Most people don't have interesting socks on, but it is a trend, especially amongst millennials, dare I say.
Okay.
But, and listening to what you're just saying.
Would it cause a problem that my sock says Dickies on the top?
Maybe.
Okay, just throwing that out there.
In certain markets. What I hear loud and clearly, and whether you're talking about millennials or anyone else, the most important factor in a relationship with a realtor or a lender or whoever is trust. And that trust aspect is something that so many people in real estate kind of blow right by. They're all about getting the deal and showing this house and let's write it up. But the trust factor is what makes the transaction occur. And that trust factor is I'm not 25 and hungry. I'm there's a Beatles song named after me. When I'm 64, right?
Right.
And I've having been rookie of the year my first year 3 years ago in this business for Keller Williams, and then moving along over to the luxury side with McMonagle and now with Villa, the one common thread throughout all of them, other than story, is I'm very able to create a bond and a trust with the people who I work with. And that's essential. That's really what carries me through the worst of it. And the other thing I'll say is that when I'm with a buyer, I think it's equally as important to have the relationship with the selling agent as it is with my client. And I can't think of a single selling agent I've worked with that wouldn't say, Kevin's a good guy. Kevin knows how to get the deal done. And it really is all because of the trust and the bond that I insist on.
President, that's a fascinating part, because I was just looking at a listing of a piece of property, and it's here in Anaheim Hills. I think it's a $1.8 million property. And I saw the listing and I just started laughing. And not for any reason other than the fact that $1.8 million, that in my book, and I know in some areas that's not a lot of money, but in my book, it's a lot of money.
Right.
Mike Trout, I know, just did $430 million contract. So he's probably, might not be a lot to him, but they used an online real estate company, some bricks or something. And I'm thinking to myself, if I am a buyer and I know I've got this transaction, I talk to real estate professionals all over the state all the time. One of the biggest issues, everyone tells me that there's always every transaction has some sort of a hurdle.
Right.
The hurdles are met by agents that have experience and know how to navigate these hurdles.
Right.
When you're doing something online for $1.8 million, what are you supposed to do? Start talking to your computer?
Well, you as in any business, you get what you pay for. And I don't want to speak in overly broad generalities here.
Well, I'll do that for you.
Okay, thank you. Let me set it up there.
Right.
So, our company in particular, we have some of the best realtors in Southern California, and our market share, speaks as a testament to that, especially along the Golden Coast there, Huntington Beach down to Dana Point. But in markets like Laguna Beach and Newport Beach, it's extraordinary, the market penetration we have, considering we have about a quarter the number of agents as the big companies, Coldwell Banker, et cetera, and we do the same kind of volume. But a lot of that is because the nature of the agent. The agents are experienced, they're trustworthy, they know what they're doing, they know how to get the job done. And I think, I always kind of fall back on my story thing, but my story is just a way to generate trust and generate confidence and build a bond with somebody.
Sure.
So I can have that trust with them when I tell them, they're not going to go there. We're not going to get that done. And this has happened yesterday. These
right.
2 deals I'm doing. Other places, you make concessions and everybody understands it's a mutual thing. Yesterday, I wasn't even sure I was going to make it in here today because we were so at odds and several things. But by the end of the day, disclosures are going back and forth. Everything's done. And at least I'm praying it is.
Exactly.
By the time I get back, it'll be sushi or chips. But it is all based upon the fact that I have a good relationship with the buying agent, I have a good relationship with the selling agent, and on the other part, it's a dual contingency deal. But it all hinges on the trust that all the agents have for each other.
And that's the issue right there. And I've had that conversation with folks many times. Is do you want, when I've talked to people about listing property, and I tell everyone, I've got a real estate license. I understand what it takes to get a real estate license. I am not qualified to do real estate, even though I have a real estate license, right? I do lending. Mm-hmm. I understand that part. But if my real estate professional that I've engaged on the buy side, is he going to really go to some jerk or one of these online things? Is he going to recommend me go to an online service knowing that I might get taken advantage of, just from the unknowns? Well,
that being said, I do want to be real clear. With my buying clients, I tell them to go to all the, Zillows and Trulias and Redfins and all of them and see what you like. And then I'll find out the truth.
There you go. See, that's the issue right there.
And a lot of times, I'll look for things that may be obvious to people, maybe not, how many days it's been on the market, if it's had any price adjustments. But I also want to find out from the agent, what's these guys' story again, right?
Sure.
Are they moving out of town? Are they retiring? Are they, moving to a bigger home, moving to a smaller home?
Do they have to move?
Do they have to move?
Right.
all those things. And most of the, lesser agents, let us call it, they don't know to do that. They think they do, but they don't seem to do that because I talk to enough buyers who come to me after they've tried to work with somebody.
See, now you're going to a new area that a lot of the younger, less experienced agents don't even think about nowadays. And the only reason I know this is because I talk to so many, or I should say I communicate with so many. But we're going to talk about the issue when we come back. Talking to each other? Really? We want to talk to you? Do I have to talk to somebody? Holy cow, we're going to chat about that. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, Fortnite fraud. We'll talk about that. How does that fit into what we're talking about in real estate? We'll get into that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. With every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by our friends over at Blue Water Credit. Is your credit score below what you think it should be? Do you have errors on your credit report? Blue Water Credit can solve that problem for you. Hey, are you into this Fortnite game nowadays? I think most of the young people, the millennials are. Shouldn't say that. My son, I think, lives on this bloody game. About a 500,000 users or something like that. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe a big number. I don't know what it is. Fortnite, though, crazy. But hey, there's some fraud going on out there. How do you protect your family from Fortnite fraud? So to summarize a little bit, capitalizing on the increasing crowded Fortnite community, cyber crooks have invaded the game's landscape in search of users' credit card information and other personal data. Here's how to prevent common threats lurking in Fortnite. No, you can't use their tools to hit them in the head or whatever they do with the game. I just watch every once in a while when my son's playing it. So basically, make sure that you're protecting your information. That's the bottom line. I tell you this all the time. If you're using something online, go and get like the Square Cash Card. I love the Square Cash Card. I use that for a lot of my online purchases because I keep about 30 cents on the card. If I went on there right now and looked at my card, which I'm doing for those of you that are watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you'll actually see I'm looking at my cell phone. I've got my Cash app opening. My balance as we speak right now is 17 cents. 17 cents. Looks just like a regular credit card. If I were to show it to you, you could actually see a regular credit card right there. Now, here's the beauty of it, is if I go and I decide I want to buy whatever, I want to buy this really cool book, Real Estate Buying and Selling, 6th edition even. So if I want to go and buy this book, I can go to the author's website and I see how much it is. Okay. I put that amount of money on my card right here from my handy phone. I put my credit card number in, and guess what? I've just bought something. It goes to this. But now if somebody hacks that number, guess how much they have access to on my card in about 30 seconds? 17 cents. So if somebody wants to hack me for 17 cents, okay, we can deal with that. But just remember these things because everybody's out there. There are a lot of crooks out there trying to steal things. So restrict access to the accounts. Be very, very careful. Use different passwords on different sites. Password is not a good password. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not a very, very safe password. And beware of phishers. I got a couple of them this morning. I got emails from somebody that I know the person, but it came through and it said, hey, check out the enclosed document. The password's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you think I opened that document? Not a chance in this lifetime. Watch out for fake offers. Use that two-factor authentication. Complicated passwords. I use LastPass, right? It's a service that'll come up with a 12-digit password. Be careful of all these things. Use the antivirus software. Update your computer's operating system. And again, watch those credit card statements. That is Your Credit Matters, brought to you by Blue Water Credit. Continuing our conversation today, Kevin Kent is actually the author of this book, Real Estate Buying and Selling, Spend Less, Make More. Can I send that subtitle to my wife? Spend less, make more?
No, just give her the credit card with 17 cents on it.
Yeah, but I want to go home tonight. I want to be able to wake up in the morning. So
let me tell you what.
Let me get there 1 second. Okay, so 2 things I want to get to. Number 1, great book. I'm going to put the link to it on RonSiegelRadio.tv. I'll put it on Ron Siegel on the Facebook page. But Kevin, I want to get to something that we talked about before. This was really important to me because in this day and age, we've got cell phones, we've got text messages, we've got instant message, WhatsApp, email that nobody reads, snail mail that even less people read. And you mentioned something earlier that only a couple of agents I talked to ever contemplate. Talking to people?
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I also very big on face-to-face, which of course the only real way you get face-to-face is, other than hitting up people in the line at the grocery store, is open houses. And I love and hate them. I mean, I hate the fact I'm away from my family, but of course now they're all off in college. It's not as big a deal. But those face-to-face interactions, those are key. You can read the person's body language. You can talk to them. And also, more importantly, they see that you're real. And that's what I need to have, that relationship.
And that's something that's an important issue that most people are missing in the millennial world. I mean, we do a lot of social media advertising and chatting with people, and it's almost like people take a offense when we call them back. Like, why are you calling me? But I just wanted to get a text message from you.
You know what I do with a lot of people is I'll text them and say, Can we talk? Time to talk?
Does that do you get some interesting responses to that?
Well, they'll say sure right now, or in 10 minutes, or in 5 minutes, because you're basically asking for permission to have that relationship re-engage.
To take the relationship to a different level.
Right. And so I try not to bug people too much, but some people actually kind of like being bugged. They like being prompted. I find that right now, probably, I send out a lot of emails still, but usually accompanying with a video link or something. But text messaging is how probably 80% of my time is spent when it comes to marketing. But I'll embed emails, I'll embed the photograph, I'll embed the PDF file inside the text message.
Sure.
People are so accustomed to that, and you get instant access. So I try not to ever bug him. And if somebody tells me stop, I stop, but it works.
So let's listen to a couple of things that we've learned this morning from Kevin. And I want to throw these out there, and we're going to chat a little bit more about them though, because obviously the society, anybody, you've got young or college age children.
Right.
Do they talk to you or do they text you?
Both.
Do they?
Yeah, both.
I know a lot of times I might call one of my sons and all of a sudden I get a text message from him.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I know that that's like a common issue now.
I've been trying to get my youngest to use the voice he was given with.
Right.
Because he's still, he's a hip, sporto college guy, and he answers the phone. Yeah. Hey.
You got 2 words out of that. Yeah. Hey. Okay. That's
no. I talked to him last night. We do talk a fair amount, but amongst themselves, it's all text.
It's all text.
They'd be sitting across the table from somebody and text them.
Isn't that amazing?
It's fast.
I've actually thrown that question out at people sometimes when I see 2 different people, or my son and his girlfriend might be sitting there and they're texting. Hey, are you guys talking to each other, or are you talking to other people?
Yeah.
Right. But here's the issue that I'm listening to you say here. And again, this is something that you need to catch if you're in business. Texting is great. Continue that conversation by text. And when you're ready to take it to another level, ask the other party, hey, can I call you? Can I text you?
Yeah, it's permission granting is what you're
right, because you don't want to offend somebody by going to if you go out to dinner with somebody, you don't ask them to go home with you right now.
Right.
Right. You got to get permission for these things.
Right. And again, to me, the sort of the thread or the scenario is, you meet somebody, you get their story, you tell your story, you get their trust, you have a bond. And then after that point, that maybe take 10 minutes, it could take 2 hours, right?
Sure.
But at that point, then you have permission to take it to the next level. And last night, I texted a guy who I met at an open house on Sunday. I texted him about a $4 million property in Dana Point. He answered me back, yeah, I'd like to go see it. All I sent him was that this is Kevin, you remember me from Sunday? And he goes, yeah. I said, I've got something for you to see. This $4 million with a view. Excellent. How many words was that?
Right.
15?
Which is nice then, because you don't have to worry about a ton in it. And somebody that's buying a $4 million property, I'm going to submit that they're busy people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if you can get to the point, they're going to be happier when the time is right, and you need to have a conversation about, hey, what, do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? Then you get that phone going.
What people realize after they enter a transaction with somebody is that this business is emotional. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of knowledge to do it right. And that's how you save money, make money. That's how you really, make the transaction a success, is you recognize that it is emotional. Some people blow up in the middle of a, transaction, and you have to be part psychologist.
Sure.
Glad I grew up with 6 or 7 brothers and sisters. And, so you have to mediate, and this last week there's been a lot of that going on, but it was contingent upon overall $5.5 million worth of business. Am I going to be patient? Am I going to be the one to make sure that it happens? Yeah, I am.
Sure.
But I'm sincere about it. I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody. I'm not trying to, it's not that. It's of getting the deal done successfully.
And that's the key thing right there, is you want to make sure that you're meeting people's objectives. And how do you meet somebody's objectives if you don't know what they are?
Yeah. The other thing I found out is that the wife, if there is a wife,
okay,
the wife is the real decision maker.
Oh, always.
In those cases.
Always.
And so when I show, if a husband and wife come to a house on separate occasions or one after the other, I will present the house completely different. It's not for any manipulative reasons. It's because they have different cares and concerns.
Sure. I know in my household, I don't get a vote, right? I can tell my wife that, hey, something, this is what our budget is. But from there, she's going to decide about the kitchen, the family room, the view, everything, right? Happy wife, happy life. And I've learned that after 31 years. It's taken me a while.
31?
31 and almost 32. Holy cow, I better be careful.
I'm at about 24, I think. I guess I should know that exactly, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm just as bad, but thank goodness my wife's not watching this morning.
I don't think mine is either.
That'd be a good. Hey, Kevin Kent is our guest today. He's got this book, Real Estate Buying and Selling, Spend Less, Make More. It's like a copy of his book. Just go into I'm going to put a link to his website right there on our Facebook page. It'll be in the show notes as well. What's your website, Kevin?
Kevin A. Kent.
Well, that's tough.
I know.
Did it take you a long time to remember that?
No, the funny part is I tried to get Kevin Kent, and same thing on IMDb because I used to make movies. Kevin Kent, in a lot of cases, is either a clown, a real clown in London, a comedian in Seattle. All these Kevin Kents, I'm going, God, I can't have that. So I changed it to Kevin A. Kent, which is my middle name. Kevin
A. Kent. Okay, so we got that information here. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio. Well, that was fun. Yep, good stuff.